Hi everyone, it's Mary Blocker from Mary's Card Cafe, and I am so excited to be back again for my Simple Yet Stunning Sunday series. And I tell you, it is the most amazing thing, as I fix my light here. Sorry. Has a mind of its own sometimes. No, it has a lot of glare and things, so I'll try to back it off a bit and see how we do. I tell you, Simple Yet Stunning can't get any easier than with this prized Peony cling stamp set and the other suite of products for this beautiful, beautiful suite. And I'm telling you what, this designer series paper, the Peony Garden designer series paper, is incredible. That's what we are using today, as well as one of the sayings from the stamp set. We're really going to be focusing on that designer series paper because you know me and Stunning. If you have some beautiful DSP, you are going to be golden. So let's go ahead and get started this morning. All right, so I have a piece of Petal Pink, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to go down a 1/4 inch layer as I usually do with 5 1/4 by 4, and then a piece of this beautiful Peony Designer Series paper. This is at 3 3/4 by 5. So it is exciting, but you know, I haven't showed you the card, my Simple Yet Stunning card. Okay, take a look. Wow, is that not stunning? And it's really, really quite simple. So let's go ahead and get started. First, going to take my designer series paper, and I am using some of my stamping blends. Now, you're going to think, well, how is this simple, Mary? My goodness, you're pulling out coloring materials, you've got all of this space, but don't worry. What I'm going to tell you is this is so beautiful and forgiving, but I'm going to use the darker petal pink. And I'm going to come in where you see already everything is already done and shaded for me, and I'm just going to kind of go in and touch those little bit of shaded areas, not even paying too much close attention. I'm just kind of going in and touching some things. Now, I'm not using the stamping blends really as blending of colors as much as you usually would with Stampin' Blends. The whole idea with Stampin' Blends is that you can blend those colors, get different shadings and all of that by using your light and dark in combo. And I am going to use my light and dark in combo, but what you're going to see is I'm going through all of these flowers with the darker petal pink. You would not generally do that if you're going to be doing some coloring with your stamping blends and using them to blend colors really well, because they're alcohol based. They will dry before you bring that other color into it, but that's okay with this. I'm simply wanting to highlight some color where it's already shaded, because see, the shaded work's already done, so I'm not really worried too much about doing that blending. And see how quickly I'm just touching over those areas. I'm not even spending too much time thinking about it, just little darkness where it's showing me, and into those cracks and crevices. Easy peasy, just like that, okay? Now the next thing I'm going to do is bring my light petal pink in, and now I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick wash of color over those. Now notice, I'm not being slow about it. I'm just kind of getting in there. I even am okay with me not quite getting all of the petals completely, because then you know what that gives me? It gives me some automatic light areas if I've missed a spot here and there. And then that way I don't need to bring out that color lifter. And even though that color lifter is a beautiful tool and I use it often when I'm doing coloring, but remember, I'm coloring on DSP. DSP might not be as a great surface for doing some things like using the color lifter as it would on cardstock. And again, I'm getting that same effect just by quickly going in. I'm not even worried about if I get off the lines a little bit. It's not really going to show it too much. So the Stampin' Blends are fabulous. And even with me going over here now, you're going to see that it is blending. it's just kind of going over that darker petal pink and allowing it to kind of keep that shaded deep coloring. See how easy that is? And how long did that take me? Just a couple of minutes. So it's love it, love it, love it. I think that looks great. There we go. So let's take a look at that up close. You can see all of those shaded darker areas, and that light petal pink just went over top of it quite easily. So it's a very soft, beautiful color. Now, if I wanted to, I could come back in with my dark again. If I wanted to even highlight a little bit more and deepen those and bring those out, I'll do that in a couple places so you can really see how that comes out a little bit deeper and darker. Now that I've kind of put that light petal pink in there, I can go back in, touch some of those areas to bring that deep darkness back out even a little more again. There we go. You can see that I've pulled that in there like so. Very pretty. Very pretty. All right. So now let's talk about our old olive. Now I have to tell you, the dark old olive is quite dark, and I'm not quite sure I'm going to use it. What's happened with my light, you can see my light Stampin' Blend, my thicker brush tip is starting to fray out. I've had this particular set a long time with this tape, so this is a very old Stampin' Blend, and it was really starting to fuzz out. So it was really interesting as I just took my my snips and I came in and I snipped off some of that fuzziness all the way around it to kind of give back that point to it. Now I know you're thinking that's crazy. Well, I am going to eventually have to replace this guy because he is getting so frayed. So that is going to affect a little bit, and I don't have a second one. But I'm going to take the pen part, just like I did with the darker petal pink. I'm just going to come in to those deeper dark areas just quickly and give some shade with the pen tip of the light old olive. Kind of go in there, just not even, I really have to tell you guys, I'm not trying to be specific or particular. I'm just going in where I see some of those shades along the vein and doing some markings. I see these little guys here would be darker, so I'll just kind of do that. Coming in here, see that getting shaded under these spots, and just kind of running in there and getting some darker lines. It's really not anything real accurate or precise. Just going in there. So yeah, you know me, designer series paper. Oh, I just love it. And this Peony Garden is beautiful, and you're going to have a chance to actually win a package of it. Now you'll see that my brush tip of my old olive is quite, let's just say he's hurting. And that's okay. I've had this guy for a long time. And it's not that the color is running out. It's just from myself or my stamping customers at class, just kind of pushing on that tip a little bit too hard. So I'm having to kind of mush down on it as well. And because it was fraying out so much, and you can even see that, it's having a hard time, the point's having a hard time standing up. So I'm going to even try to trim that more just to see if I can get a little more use out of it before I have to just go ahead and replace it. And so again here, I'm not trying to color the whole leaves in. I'm just dabbing some color into it, kind of just running along it really quick. I don't even know if that quite was a leaf or that was a petal, but it's a leaf now, right? That's the way it goes sometimes. And I think that's a leaf there. But you see that, and can you see how I went along first with the pen part of the old olive and then came along with then the brush tip at the top, and I wasn't trying to fill everything in, and so we've got some light going on, and that's it. That's that beautiful background. I mean, it's stunning. All right, so let's put this together. It is so cool. All right, so as you can see, the designer series paper, the Stampin' Blends, they will go right through. So I'll go ahead and I'll take my Stampin' Seal here, this new Stampin' Seal, just starting to get my practicing and playing with it. It is great in terms of its stickiness. So I know here in Washington State, in the western side, which, you know, we don't get horribly hot, but my stamping workshop room is converted in my garage, and I will get my cards not sticking real well together. So I'm going to be using the Petal Pink organdy striped ribbon that is beautiful and shimmery and shiny. And I'm just going to do this. I always put just a little bit on the back because it helps me when I'm going to be tying my my things. I think that's enough for doing a knot, but I'm just going to give it just a little bit more. So that just helps secure it, makes my life a little bit easier to cut bows or cut knots or tie knots and bows. And I'm just going to be doing, I wanted that up a little bit. Well, it'll be a little bit lower today. That's okay. So I'm going to go my right over left, so then my left has to go over the right. And you really need a finger to hold these down because it will get looser if you don't. So I'm going to hold that and then go ahead and tie my beautiful little knot there. I do want to squinch this up a little bit more. There we go. Oh, that ribbon is so beautiful and coordinated perfectly with the Petal Pink, as Stampin' Up! Does with all of their colors. The cardstock, the ink pads, the designer series paper, and the accessories all coordinate together. That just helps make things look more stunning and rich to go with. So that's that so far, but I want to even give it a little more glitz. So I'm going to use this Forever Greenery trim. That's part of the Forever Greenery ribbon combo pack. It comes with a vanilla ribbon, and it also comes with this golden twisted thread. So what I'm going to do is bring it up under this knot that I've already made and use the knot as a holding thing for me to do my bow. And what I really like about this gold trim is the ends actually fray out, and I think that just gives a whole nother fun texture to a project. Oopsie, got a little trouble here getting this through the, might start over, but we'll see. Ah, I got it. All right, so let's pull that in, because we don't want it to be too huge. So that's a beautiful, fun little accent bow here. I don't even mind how it's laying. I just love that additional bit of glitz. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere that part down. It doesn't matter what the back of our card looks like. My ribbon's a little wonky. If you have a little trouble with that Stampin' Seal, you just got to move it to where that glue, tape is now at the forefront. And it doesn't want to cooperate with me. I just got this. It's new. It's going to take a little time for me to figure out all of the little nuances. Don't need to push down real hard. See, it happens sometimes as I get it on the there we go. And that's all I need, actually. It's really sticky. Now this is just the Stampin' Seal adhesive. You get much more on the roll of the adhesive than you do with the previous snail. And it actually is much stronger, holds much better. And then there's Stamp Seal Plus. That you would use for like 3D projects, things like that. Now I have a scrap of my Petal Pink, and I'm going to use this saying, "My thoughts are with you," and I'm going to stamp that with the basic gray. And then a great punch, which again, I'm not having to use my die cut machine, which takes additional time. I simply am going to use one of my punches because it is so quick and handy. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that and punch it. There we go. And now it's kind of flat, just like so. So I'm going to bring back my Petal Pink. I guess I could sponge with the basic gray, but I just don't want it to be too harsh. So when I sponge an area, take off that first blob of ink, because you'll end up with a big blotch on your tag here, and you don't want that. I also thought about it might be pretty to do like a really soft stamp of this floral right here over top of that saying, but I'm a little worried about it actually just taking too much away from the greeting, and so I decided against that. All right, there we go, lickety split. Now I'm just going to need some Stampin' Dimensionals. One of the things I really like about Petal Pink, it's not so like girly pink. It's much more in that soft, I almost want to call it a little sister of peach, you know? It's just that light of, to me, peach more so than pink. I kind of like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just adhere a greeting like so. Very nice. And then, of course, you know, that is stunning. It is beautiful and stunning, but we can do better. So I am pulling out the Elegant Faceted Gems. These, my gosh, you guys. I've had a couple of earlier blogs where I've done some projects with the Peony Garden Suite, and these faceted gems I cannot get enough of. There's these milky frosted ones, champagne and clear, and just beautiful. These clear ones, one of my stamping friends said, oh, you know, if you do that on the peony flower, if you put them here on the peony flower, it'll look like raindrops. And I thought that was great. Great idea. So I am going to go ahead and take my pick your tool and pick up my gems, and one here. Going to come down right here and here, maybe here, or should I go up higher? I think I'm going to go up just a little higher here. Oh, and there is my beautiful, simple yet stunning card project. Taking the initial beautiful designer series paper that was just in the gray tone, use my Stampin' Blends to deeply shade in areas with the darker petal pink, and then wash over with the light petal pink blend, and then again with my light Old Olive, taking the pen part and deepening some of those veins on the leaves and stems, and then going back with the light brush tip. Now let's take a look at my Stampin' Blend Green, because I just see a little thing here I want to kind of get in deeper right there. Do you see my poor little thing, how it's getting frayed and coming out? So I think I'll still trim with my snips, see how much use I can get out of that, and then I'll finally replace it and get a new combo pack with that. So anyway, so there you are, guys. Let's take a look at my original card. It is sitting up a little bit. Is it a little bit higher? It is a little bit higher up. This bow seems to be over a little more, but just look at the two, just beautiful and stunning. So a couple of things to let you know about. I said you could win a package of the Peony Garden Designer Series paper. If you check out my blog, which there's a link below, I have a sketch challenge. And all it is that you design a card and you use your favorite floral designer series paper as part of your project. And so create your project, use your floral DSP that you love. You can design it however you want. You then upload to me or even send it to me, but uploading is just as easy, by the 30th of June. Then all entries, I'll take a look at them all. Oftentimes I have my adult daughters help me pick out the winner, and the winner of the sketch challenge will win a full package of the 12 by 12 Peony Garden Designer Series paper. It is beautiful, you guys. So check out my blog. I'll post it below, and you'll be able to see that sketch challenge. I also have now through June 30th, with a $50 order at my online store, I will send you a sampling of the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. It is another Designer Series paper that is beautiful. I'll find it really quick for you. I'll show you both Designer Series paper because, you guys, I love my Designer Series paper. I cannot get enough of it. So let's take a look at our Peony Garden one first. So this is the Peony Garden. It's the basic grays and the petal pinks, just stunning, you guys. That's what you can earn free if your sketch challenge, if your sketch card that you send me wins. You'll be winning a package of that. Here is the Forever Greenery Designer Series paper. That's this one right here. Oh, and this is just stunning with the colors, the petal, the Pretty Peacock and Just Jade, Mossy Meadow, just fantastic. This you'll get a sampling of the Designer Series paper with a $50 order on my online store using the Hostess Code. So I'll also have that below with the host code for that. And you have through June 30th for that one too. So you guys check out my website and my blog for updates. I have an online specialty class coming in July that you might be interested in. It'll be fantastic. And I really hope you enjoyed my simple yet stunning Sunday. If you did, thumbs up, share my video, give me a thumbs up, even comment. Let me know what you think about my card. I love to chat and get to know other stampers. So there it is, guys. Until next time, happy stamping.